and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this edition, we discuss everything about the stock markets, how the markets have opened in trade, what kind of cues are you getting in the early trading action, where are the gains and losses being seen, and what are the triggers that the markets will follow throughout this week as well. So let's start off first with the opening levels, and then we will come back at the entire highlights of the trading session as well. Now, first of all, we have had a positive opening today. 17,300 has been topped in the early trading action by the Nifty, and this is despite the mixed global cues that you've been seeing all across. Now, just at open, we saw the Sensex opening with 166 point of a gain, or 0.3% higher at over 58,030. In the early trading action. Also, the Nifty was higher by almost 50 odd points, or 0.3% up, and was trading at 17,333. About 1633 shares are seen advancing in the early trading action, whereas about 602 shares are declining. About 124 shares remain unchanged in the early trading action as well. Now, when you talk about specific stocks that are in focus right now, you have Hindalco, Maruti Suzuki, Infosys, Wipro, and Coal India. These are among the major gainers on the Nifty index. On the losing side, you do have Asian Paints, Grasim, M&M, IOC, and Britannia Industries on the losing side. Now, look at the sectoral division right now. We have banks, financial services, both PSU and private banks as well, declining in trade. Also FMCG showing some signs of decline, whereas all the other sectors are trading in the green at the moment as well. Now, remember, this is on the back of the cautious trade that we've seen in the Asian markets today, early morning. And as the fight in Ukraine has raged on with no signs of stopping, Ukraine is not giving up. There is no resolution yet between Ukraine Russia talks that have been going on, the several rounds of talks that have gone on so far, but there is no resolution. And just because of this, we've also seen the crude oil prices spike up again in the overnight trading session as well, right after 2 weeks of straight decline in crude oil prices that we've been witnessing, in hopes of talks coming through, and de-escalation of the war coming through. But that hasn't happened yet, and that has really fueled the crude oil prices even higher. So both domestic and global stock markets had rallied last week in anticipation of the eventual peace talks, but it could actually progress to justify further gains or not is something that we'll have to watch out for as well. Now, markets did remain very, very strong over the last course of week. We did see Sensex here marking 58,000, and that's what we have seen in the early trading action even today. Now, of course, this was on the back of the softening of crude oil prices as well. Remember, and if the crude oil prices continue to rage higher, that may again stall the kind of direction that the markets have taken in the last week. In this week itself, markets will be continuing to gauge the development between Ukraine-Russia crisis, as well as movement in the oil prices as well. Now, investors will be keenly watching out for US Fed Chair Jerome Powell's comments on the economic outlook at the annual conference on National Association for Business Economics in today's trading session as well. Back home, a whole lot of stocks are in focus because there's several news flow that has flowed in over the course of 3 days, because last week was a truncated week and we got 3 days market holiday. And after that, the markets have opened with some positive vibe. Now, when you talk about Ruchi Soya, this stock is going to be really in focus because the company has such a floor price of 615 to 650 rupees per equity share on its 4,300 crore rupees follow-on public offer, and under the issue has approved for a minimum bid lot size of 21 and in multiples of 21 equity shares thereafter as well. So that's something that Ruchi Soya is going to be definitely in focus, because the floor FPO price has been kept way below its actual price of 1,000 rupees around. Wockhardt is going to be in focus. The company has collaborated with Serum Life Sciences in UK, which is a subsidiary of Serum Institute of India, one of the world's largest vaccine manufacturers, to develop and to deliver a global vaccine program as well. So the stock will be in focus. Maruti Suzuki has signed an MOU with State of Gujarat to invest approximately 150 billion yen, approximately 104.4 billion rupees, for local manufacturing of electric vehicles. This is around 10,000 odd crore rupees in India. So that is something going to be extremely important for Maruti Suzuki, which has so far been on a back foot with related to electric vehicles and has been moving very, very slowly, looking at the price points as well. So now this is the first time that they are advancing their investments in electric vehicle space and battery manufacturing space as well. Granules India is going to be in focus as well, as the company has received a license from Medicines Patent Pool. So these are the stocks that are going to be in focus. Overall speaking, the market momentum is likely to be volatile in today's trading session on the back of the kind of developments that we are seeing on the geopolitical front and on crude oil prices front as well. We'll keep you posted with everything that's developing on D Street, and for that, you need to stay tuned onto Business Today. Thanks a lot for tuning in.